Good afternoon. Welcome to Lunch with Louie, live from Bar Louie. And joining us is forward Al Graves, Tyler Jackson, myself, Derek Benigni. Al, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, Al, it says in your bio that you were born and raised in probably one of the coolest named cities in America, King of Prussia, Pennsylvania.
That's correct.
Talk to us a little bit about King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. You also played for the Junior Flyers growing up, and we assume that makes you a Flyer fan. Didn't know if you were a Pittsburgh fan or a Flyer.
No, that's taboo. No.
So tell us a little bit about King of Prussia,
sure.
PA.
Well, King of Prussia, PA, I don't know if you knew this or not, but fun fact of the day, second largest mall in the country, behind Mall of America. So actually,
how about that?
Exactly. So very convenient. It's usually pretty busy, small town, about 15 or so minutes right outside of Philadelphia, the actual city. So it's in good distance. But yeah, I was born in Bryn Mawr, which was the town over. Been raised in King of Prussia since I was 4 years old. And I did play for the Junior Flyers, so we were a youth team. Our coach 1 year was Ed Hospodar, and he was an old Philadelphia Flyer. He played back during the days of the Broad Street Bullies. So he was my coach for 1 year. I had a good time playing for the Junior Flyers as well. But I also played for the Valley Forge Minutemen, which was actually a closer team, and that was maybe about 10 minutes away, with the Junior Flyers about 25 minutes away. And so, of course, I'm a Flyers fan. So. It goes without saying, I'm a huge Flyers fan. Grew up, born and raised. So the only thing I'm not Philadelphia is, I guess, the Cowboys. So.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Only facts.
So growing up, favorite Flyer? Legion of Boom line, or was that before your time? I always forget. You guys are so young. I'm so old.
Well, I'm getting up there. I am getting up there. But actually, when I started to get into hockey, I was around 8 or 9 years old. And the Legion of Doom was LeClaire, Renberg, and Lindros. But actually, the Flyer that I looked up to growing up, a Flyer that I looked up to a lot was Rod Brindamore.
Yep.
That's why I wear number 17.
Nice.
People say his work ethic was unparalleled, and he's actually still involved with some, I guess, management duties down in Carolina. And some of the guys say he still goes out and skates with the team and still hasn't. So at his age, he was a workout freak, and that's something I take pride in, and I try to model my game after him as well.
Right, and he was one of those too where when you think of the Selke Trophy for defensive forward best in the league, back in those days you always thought of Brindamore. Because, I mean, he could score, but he was everywhere on that ice.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And now you're talking about having that Broad Street Bullies connection.
Yes.
Is that kind of where you get that hard-nosed style of play from?
I would say so, and I think it characterizes the city of Philadelphia in general. Very hardworking people. It's how I was brought up, born and raised, and I've been naturally bigger than everybody else usually, and finally my body grew into my frame. I've always been a very physical player, and I've always tried to model my game again after Rod Brindamore and obviously Wayne Simmons more contemporarily, for speaking in those terms as well. But yes, absolutely, and just the way they play hockey, dump and chase hockey, that's Flyers. That's Flyers hockey, down and pound them. So, but absolutely.
Which we were talking about, being a hard-nosed player, and there was a play a couple of weeks ago in a game against Peoria where you just absolutely decked Peoria defenseman Cody Dion, who was a big boy. I think he stands 6'5", but
he is.
You just sat him right down, and it really changed up the tempo of the game, which shows how important a player like yourself is. To a hockey team. Not everybody can be the leading scorer. So tell us a little bit about that.
Right. Well, if I can remember correctly, I was coming off of the bench. I saw the play develop. Coach Pyle's systems are very, very simple. We run a 1-2-2, and the first forward goes pretty aggressive. And I saw the play develop, and his head was down, and I looked for hits like that, and I just lowered my shoulder, and I guess the rest is history. Yeah.
Lower the boom.
Absolutely.
I almost swore on the radio. I was like, oh my God.
I giggled like a schoolgirl.
So a couple weeks ago, we were doing a video shoot here at Lunch with Louie, and we had Mike Donnellan on, and he talked a little bit about East Coast. You don't have a lot of the junior hockey leagues, and it's a lot of prep school stuff. And I saw on your bio that you went to the Hill School. Tell us a little bit about the Hill School, because I clicked on their website, and it kind of freaked me out. It looks like Hogwarts a little bit.
It is.
And they're like, The pictures of the campus, I mean, it's amazing.
Actually, if I can remember, it's been some years since I've been to Hill, but when I was a student there, we used to joke that our lunchroom looked exactly like the lunchroom in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But I honestly, I took 1 year there as a postgraduate. So, in prep school, you go 9 through 12, and then most New England prep schools will offer an option. It's called postgraduate, and it's mostly for athletes or people who want to maybe get their SATs up. Or I was actually 17 when I graduated, so I was a little bit young, so I needed that extra year to develop before I was recruited by NCAA schools. That place, I've made some of my best friends there, and I can't say anything bad about the whole school. I loved being there. I actually had the board there. That was a rule as a postgraduate student. Hockey was excellent. We'd always travel up to New England for the big tournaments, and that's where I received 100% of all my college exposure, and then the rest is history. I went to Williams from there.
You also spent some time at Cornell University.
Yes,
Former Evansville Iceman Patrick Kennedy also went to Cornell University, and talk to us a little bit about that experience.
Sure. Well, it was Cornell was great. Obviously, it's very rigorous academically. I didn't actually get a chance to play for the varsity team there, so I ended up kind of staying in shape with what's called ACHA, which is like their second team. So it was tough. I really begged the guy for an opportunity, but for whatever reason, they didn't have any slots. But again, it was just a great experience. Pretty big campus for an Ivy League school. I think undergraduate was around. I think overall it was 13,000. Undergraduate was around 8,000. So that's with Ivy League. That's kind of up there, but it was great. Ithaca, Ithaca is gorgeous, meaning gorgeous. There's gorges everywhere. A lot of waterfalls. It's great scenery. But yeah, I loved it there. 2 years, well spent.
One of the alumni from Cornell, Gary Bettman, commissioner of the NHL.
Yes,
do we mention his name?
He's actually in the Hall of Fame up in. There's one building, I forget what hall. I don't know if it's Alumni Hall or one of the others, but he has pictures right there. Right as soon as you walk in, you see him. There's actually not that much mention of him, to be honest with you. I know that not everybody's a fan of him, obviously, but yeah, he's a notable Cornell alum.
So when you were at Cornell, what did you study?
Sure, I was a double major actually. So when I initially went to Williams College, they had a major called political economy, which basically was a mixture of government and economics. Fortunately, at Cornell they didn't have that, so I was able to transfer a lot of my credits from there and be a double major in government and economics. So I have my dual degree there.
So pretty much you're going to take over the world.
We'll see. I just take it day by day. So I'm just enjoying the ride right now.
Do you have any big ideas for using your degree, once your playing days roll?
Sure. I mean, actually, to be honest with you, I do want to go back to grad school at some point, maybe get a year or two work under my belt. But there are a few programs I'm looking at as well that I think, with my repertoire and obviously, people don't realize how much being an athlete contributes to successful life after the whole competitive nature, and there are certain intangibles that really can't be characterized. So I'm looking forward to moving in that direction after, but right now it's all hockey.
Well, and I think you bring it up like with a Rod Brindamore, that competition is a huge part of it, but also is kind of like that self-reflection of, if I want to do this, I have to get better. And you have to have that internal drive to work out in the off-season, to work out during the season, to not drink 14 beers on a Saturday night when you got a men's league game on Sunday. At any level, you have to build that in.
Right.
Last year you turned pro, you played with Columbus, 33 games, and here's the stat line. I love it. 3 goals, 3 assists, 98 PIMs.
98 PIMs, that is correct.
Talk to us a little bit about last season.
So last season it was actually great. I can't say anything bad about the Columbus Cottonmouth organization, great organization. It was a great place to play for my first year pro. But in the capacity that was used, I was basically just out there to fight people. And that was kind of my role, but I think I'm very thankful that Coach Powell has me in sort of a different role where I'm able to chip in offensively and be a defensive stalwart for the team. But it was great down there. We didn't have that great of a season in Columbus last year, but great group of guys, and great weather all year round.
Yeah.
So I think I really couldn't complain on that end. So, but that was great.
Last question here, and I'm going to pump your tires up a little bit, so
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
By all
But
means.
a lot of times we have this phrase in hockey called running around, and a lot of times you'll see it with the tough guys, the big guys, and they'll get that first big hit, and the crowd goes wild, especially at home, and they'll run around and they'll hit everything. But then the bad side of it, the crowd loves it, but it opens you up defensively, and we get to watch, Tyler and I get to watch everyone play from the fifth level, and you had that huge hit on Cody Dion and everything else, but we could see, like, one time the play was in left wing side, you were playing right wing, and you came back defensively. They had the puck, and instead of going all the way across the ice, make a huge hit, and make 3,000 fans in Evansville happy, you stayed back between the dots, covered your lane, took away that whole pass across the ice. Is that something that you learned over time? Is that a coach specifically that taught you that? Where did you
Well,
get
it's
that
actually
defensive
something,
acumen?
right? Well, it's actually something that I guess you just acquire over time, and to be honest with you, to move to the next level, you can't be out of position. I mean, I think all of us are looking to make that jump, and that's actually a big facet which separates the SPHL from the ECHL. Is just the structure, and I noticed that being with Reading in the preseason is that everybody's in the right place at the right time. And yes, it's great to get a big hit, but if you're out of position, you lose your guy for 1 second, he hits the puck, it sits in the net, literally in the matter of seconds. So that's a huge dimension, and being able to recognize, okay, I can pick and choose. When can I go? When can I not go? When do I have to be defensively aware? Your head's always on the swivel. You're always aware of your surroundings. So it's more of just hockey sense, just something you pick up as you progress and as you move up towards the ranks.
Well, there's some 48-year-old guys at my men's league that hopefully they must be right on the verge of picking it up. They haven't got it yet.
Hey, okay, never too old to learn.
Al Graves going to play the game now. Fun little game that we put together where I take Wikipedia facts, whether they're accurate or not doesn't matter, but I am right because I looked up the facts. And again, we have a fan base that's hypersensitive. We don't play this game to make fun of our players. We're making fun of the internet and also the radio broadcasters. I think my research skills are at about 72%. So, all right. First question. King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. It was named after an inn that was built in 1719, a highway, or a ship. An inn in 1719. That is correct. This rock band is from King of Prussia. REO Speedwagon, the Kaiser Chiefs, or the Bloodhound Gang?
It's funny because actually in middle school, I remember we had some correspondence with the Bloodhound Gang. They were going to come to our school, so I don't know if it has any connection. Kaiser? I'm going to go with B.
No, it is the Bloodhound
It is the Bloodhound
Gang.
Gang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I want to know why your school was wanting you to
Well, for the record, they actually ended up not having them come. There was talk of it, yes. So I knew it was either that one or okay.
On the Wikipedia page, it said rock comedy band.
Yeah.
Bloodhound
Oh,
Gang.
yeah.
So I guess that was a
I get
little.
exactly.
It's a very mild way of describing the Bloodhound Gang.
Correct.
Last year, 98 PIMS with the Cotton Mouse. It ranked you on the team in penalty minutes, number 1, number 2, or number 3?
Number 1.
Number 1. That is true.
That was an easy one.
Cornell University, the school newspaper, is known as the Cornell Moon, the Cornell Sun, or the Cornell Stars.
Cornell Sun.
The Cornell Sun, that is correct. Which science fiction franchise did not have a Cornellian involved in it? Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, or Star Trek?
I'm going to have to go with Star Trek.
Star Trek did not have any Cornellian, as far as Wikipedia is concerned, involved in it. Rick Smits acted in Star Wars 2, and Ronald Moore created the Battlestar Galactica. Which of these characters was not played by a Cornell alumnus? The Wizard of Oz, Superman, or Darth Vader?
Superman was Reeve. Darth Vader.
Darth Vader, that is correct. Movies on the bus? Are you a sci-fi guy? You a drama guy? You
I'm a little bit of
you're
everything.
physical on the ice, and then you go back and watch The Notebook. What?
I'm a little bit of everything. I'm definitely into science fiction. I actually like horror movies a lot, zombie movies. I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead, the series. So, yeah, anything horror, sci-fi, I'm game.
All right, last question for you. True or false? Is squash a winter sport at Hillsville?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Thank you very much. Al Graves, thanks for doing it.
Thanks for having me.